So, attraction. It's only attraction. There is no law of assertion. There is no law of exclusion. There's no law of get that away from me and it just goes, because when you shout no at it, it comes closer. Yes means come to me, this thing I want. No means come to me, this thing I don't want. It's just really as simple as that. So the way that we are encouraging that you slow the momentum of what isn't wanted, or that you increase the momentum of what is wanted, is first by understanding that what is wanted is real, it's active, and it knows about you. And if you can quiet your mind to slow and eventually cease the resistant thought, because every subject is two subjects, what is wanted and the absence of what is wanted. You've created what is wanted. And when you no longer are a vibrational match to the absence of what is wanted must flow seamlessly into your experience, which means you've got to find a way to be in the receiving mode. You've got to stop this momentum that law of attraction is providing. Now, many are thinking, Esther asked us one day, well, couldn't we just explore the contrast and create the solution, create the more, and then couldn't you just suspend law of attraction for a little while we get our bearings about what we really do want? And we say, no, law of attraction cannot be suspended, but you can accomplish the same effect by quieting your mind. Because when you quiet your mind, you stop thought, which means you stop resistant thought. And when you stop resistant thought, your vibrational set point rises. And as every day you do that for 15 or 20 minutes, it doesn't take long before you become a consistent vibrational match to the solution part of this equation. And then you are in what we call the receptive mode, or the allowing mode of what you want. So step one is ask. You're doing that, you can't help it. Step two is source answers. And there is this vortex that has been accumulated. And think about it. Law of attraction is responding to this wanted end of the stick just as much as law of attraction is responding to the unwanted end of the stick. The question is, which end are you a vibrational match to? And the answer to you, which end am I a vibrational match to, lies in how you're feeling in any moment in time. If you're frisky, if you're happy, if you get up, if the air feels fresh to you, if you want to get out into the day, if you're eager about interacting with people, if your heart is singing, if you want to sing and skip a little while you're moving through your day experience, then that means that you are a vibrational match to what's in your vortex. You're a vibrational match to your inner being. There's no separation between you and the solution that you have created. But if you're ornery, if you're pensive, if you're picking a fight everywhere you go, if you're feeling negative emotion about this and that, if you're feeling pensive and defensive, if you are feeling frustration a lot of the time, or any of the time, in any moment that you feel any of those negative emotions, then you are not a match to your solution. You are still growing your problem. And that's all right. You came to do some of that, but we want you to ask the question, has my problem grown sufficiently enough that I'm ready for the solution to come? Or would I like to grow a bigger solution by suffering longer in this problem? Some of you grow the problem because it feels like service to you. Some of you do it because it feels like you need some pain to have some gain. But we think that you have lived enough contrast and created enough in your vortex to keep you happily satisfied for 20 or 30 lifetimes. And while you will always be fine-tuning, and there will always be more that you're experiencing that will help you to have expansion, and without having an experience that causes you to have some conscious expansion, when the expansion comes, it won't be satisfying or rewarding to you. So all of these steps are important every day. Step one, which is your asking. Step two is source answering. And step three, which is what we talk about mostly with you. Step three is you finding some ways, and there are many ways, some ways to releasing resistance so that your vibration will rise, so that you can be more of the time a vibrational match to the solutions. And that's what we call the receptive mode. The receptive mode of what you really want to receive. Truly, in every moment that you are awake, and that includes almost all of you in this room right now, when you are awake, you are in some receiving mode. The question is, what are you tuned to? And therefore, what are you receiving? And the answer to that lies in the way that you're feeling. So, We want you to know that as things unfold for you, that your enjoyment is of primary importance. To be deliberate, to know that you're experiencing contrast, but to know it takes the edge off of it. To say, I'm willing to have this contrasting experience because first of all, I can't help it. So I might as well relax into it because I can't offer a vibration all of a sudden that's different than the vibration that I'm offering. So maybe I should let myself off the hook and just roll with this because that person that I'm so mad at deserves my anger anyway. And since I can't change the way I feel about it right now, I might as well just not beat up on me for feeling the way I do. So step one is happening. Step two, when source answers, then it gets worse for you for a while. Because when you know what you don't want and therefore you create what you do want, once what you do want has come out into the light, and once the larger part of you is focused upon what you do want, now the true tug of war begins. Do you understand why? Because you've given birth to what you want, and now your inner being is focused upon it, and now law of attraction is responding to what you do want. So as the solution is growing in relationship to the problem, you've got to take a stand. You're going to go one way or the other, and we want you to care so much about the way you feel that you're willing to release your justification and your rationalization, your defense of why you want that, and just accept that you've done the work and that you've created it, and now you can let go of what's wrong and just let what's right come to you. But you can't let what you consider to be the solution come to you as long as you are defending or justifying why you need it. And you got that way over time, didn't you? You got that way primarily because you didn't really understand where all the good that was coming to you was really coming from. It seemed like it was coming from other people who kind of held you hostage a little bit, a lot. Other people who said, you have to keep my rules in order for well-being to come to you. And if you break them, then well-being won't come. But it isn't about what others think about what you're doing at all. It's only your relationship between you and you. So it is our desire that wherever you stand, that you feel uplifted by the knowledge that from where you stand, you're still launching rockets of desire. And every one of those rockets of desire is understood and being received by the larger part of you. And that it is not as difficult as it might seem to find vibrational alignment with the desire instead of with what is. But what trips so many people up is that they don't even realize that giving attention to what is just perpetuates more of what is. And so we come along and we want to explain to you that what has manifested has been in the pipeline and been in the works for quite a long time. And really, once it manifested, it is very much old news. But it doesn't feel like old news to humans because you can still see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. So you call it now and real and active and now and current. And we see your point. We get why it seems current to you, but it doesn't seem current to us because it has been in the process of becoming for such a long time. And there are other things that are in the process of becoming that your attention to what you believe is reality prevents you from experiencing the things that are in the pipeline that could be different. In other words, you get what you think about whether you want it or not, and things are changing constantly. But for most people, because they are so embroiled in what is, for most people, the things that are changing constantly are just changing to more of the same. When the same is launching rockets of improvement, which you could be moving toward if you just understood that. The thing that we like so much about your willingness to come to a gathering like this is that as you sit in willingness to hear us, and since the larger part of you knows what we know, your inner being knows what we know. So as you listen for a little while, you begin to acquiesce, is a pretty good word, to the vibration that we are offering, which means your vibration is rising to that which you really know. And sometimes, because of the words that we are speaking from this platform, sometimes they come from Esther's mouth, sometimes they come from your mouth, but the words that happen in this gathering, you feel resonance with them. And that resonance that you feel is because you've joined your inner being in what your inner being knows. And when you hear something that your inner being knows, you feel it. And for that moment of resonance, you know it too. Now, you're probably not going to be able to maintain it because you're probably going to go back out into your world and you're going to observe as you've been observing. And so you'll be finding resonance with that stuff rather than resonance with who you really are and what you really know. But here's the part that we like the most. If we can get your attention about these laws of the universe, and if we can somewhat convince you that there is a larger part of you and that there is a vibrational reality and that your life is supposed to feel good to you and that life is getting better and better and better for you, if we can convince you or even get you to want to know that some of this is as we say it is, and then if we can talk you into, just for a little while, sitting every moment for 15 or 20 minutes and actually meditating, which means you quiet your mind, which means you stop your own thoughts, which means you stop resistant thoughts, which means you allow your vibration to rise, which means you allow yourself, by your deliberate practice of meditation, to be in the receptive mode of what your inner being knows, so that you begin to receive impulses and thoughts that you know you didn't conjure with your usual conscious mind. In other words, you just get an impulse about something and you know for sure where it came from. Now, you'll be practicing this all along, but as you find it and you know it and you experience it, because words don't really teach. Words, like music, words like so many things that are pleasing to you, can help you to find resonance with the source within you. That happens to you all the time. But to consciously and actively look for that resonance so that you are deliberately more of the time in the receptive mode, so that your guidance and inspiration is known by you to be coming from there, then and only then is when you can really trust your guidance. Esther's been practicing this for a long while. She's been receiving us since 1985. And every day, or nearly so, she finds time to meditate because she can feel the difference. She always looks up for Abraham, whether she's receiving from Abraham or whether she's receiving from the spin-off of man's conscious thought. And it's a question that she asks all day, every day. As a thought comes to her, or as a thought is unfolding in her mind, she will say, what receiving mode am I in? Where's that thought coming from? Is this consensus with source, or is this consensus with worrisome, paranoid people on the planet? Where's this thought coming from? What we're getting at, we think you are understanding what we're getting at, but until you allow life to unfold, don't jump to any quick conclusions about how you're doing. Just let life show you how you're doing. Let life unfold and show you how you're doing. This is what we really want you to hear. Do you ever have those questions about what's my real guidance? Well, as it plays out, the point that we're making with you is now you know sort of kind of how it works. And now you know what positive emotion means and what negative emotion means. And then as you have the benefit of being able to witness things unfold, it gives you all of the answers that you're looking for, and it gives you even more opportunity to offer your thoughts in the direction of things that yield to you more results that you are enjoying. You see what we're getting at? It's the randomness of it that makes you feel insecure. It's the erroneous and flawed belief that there are other people out there that are after you, that have the ability to negatively impact you against your will, that has you upside down in your life experience. But when you get it, that it's attraction. It's attraction. It's only attraction. And I have control over what I'm offering vibrationally, which is the reason for everything that I attract. Then life becomes this adventure instead of a challenge.